Turn it up, baby. Try to get this thing in front of the camera the right way. Oh, yeah. It's funny because there are some people working on in the building that I office in back here, and it's like a construction crew. They're building some more offices, like in this kind of garage area, like behind here. And when I record these things, they've been here for about a month. When I record these, I really wonder what the hell they think is going on back here. So, what's going on? Chance Reynolds here. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the organic marketing strategies that I've been using that are working super well. They're just getting more and more dialed in, and they're working better and better every day. I feel like it's kind of like I'm at one of those turning points where just when you're at the forefront of something like this, kind of happened with Google News. And the Google News stuff is still viable totally. If you don't know, I have a Google News course. That's not what I'm trying to tell you about on this. I'm not trying to sell that here. When I started doing the Google News stuff, I was at the forefront of that. I've seen other people do this in the past where like the Facebook ad agency people that combined that type of presentation and what they're selling with that, how they marketed that with the marketing of a webinar and like the perfect webinar and Russell Brunson. And there were so many people that like made so much money with that, like just with that presentation. Didn't really matter what the product was. It was just the way that they were marketing that you saw that everywhere, and it was ubiquitous because it worked so well. And and then Google News is like becoming that wave with people that want to promote through Google, but don't want to do Google ads and don't want to do like a lot of traditional SEO, or they want to beef up their traditional SEO with getting a little bit of an advantage. I was at the forefront of that, and I'm reaping the benefits of that. And there's another thing that I'm reaping the benefits of right now. And I think it's something that's probably going to get really, really popular, and you're about to start seeing more of it, which are like the Facebook organic strategies that I'm teaching in the Chan Man affiliate plan. I got to come up with a better name for that because I have a bunch of different methods in there, but I can see what from the DMs that people are giving me, like what people are gravitating towards is like what I'm doing with the organic stuff on Facebook specifically. Like I'm going to leave all the other stuff in there because it all works. But they see what I'm doing, like this sort of thing. And it's not specifically this. You don't have to do presentations like this to make it work at all. You can do way less. And I figured out ways that you don't even have to necessarily put your face on it. It's not going to be like 100% not branded to you because it's organic. It's an organic method that's using social media. So there has to be some kind of face attached to it. It's not completely faceless like some of the Google stuff, but it's much more profitable than that stuff, in my opinion. And I kind of want to just tell you how I came across this and why I think this is the big. In fact, I know that this works so well because I do it all the time. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you see that I'm doing it all the time. I wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't working. I would stop doing it, but I'm consistently doing it, and I'm making a lot more money doing this than any other thing, this type of marketing. Anyway, so when I was first getting started, my service-based business, if you don't know, that's another thing that I do. I wear kind of a lot of hats. I have a lot of online businesses. It's a legal document service. I obviously didn't know what I was doing in my marketing. That's potentially where you would be if you're starting. Nobody really knows the marketing piece of it when they get started, unless they're starting like a marketing based business, like a marketing agency. And even if they know the paid stuff, they don't understand the organic stuff and the branded stuff like that I do. So I didn't know what the heck I thought was going to happen. When I created the idea for the company, I really believed, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about driving traffic. I just knew that I had a really good solution and what I thought was a really good product. It did turn out to be a good product, but it's not necessarily a good product. If people aren't going to buy it, it's not even really a product. So I didn't even have a product at this point, but I created it. I think I created like one blog post or something. I put it out there and I thought I was going to be able to sell it like word of mouth. I didn't know anything about organic marketing. I didn't even try to do paid traffic, and like nothing happened. I guess I just thought people would show up. So it surprised the hell out of me. So I started reaching out to people that I knew that were having success in business. And a lot of them at that time, this is kind of when Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels was just getting launched and started. If you can hear this construction baby crying in the background, but because they have a baby here at work, uh, which is cool. I'm fine with that. So mainly what they were talking about was the funnel model, which nothing against the funnel model at all. Like it works, and I'm if you follow me at all, you see that I'm starting to utilize the funnels a lot more now that I have a bunch of products that I can stack together, and it definitely works. But learning about landing pages, sales copy, all of that, all kinds of software that help with all that stuff, and creating a Facebook business page and like chat bots and stuff like that. At that time, were becoming like bigger. So I did all that stuff, learned all that stuff, dove in, like learned every little detail of everything there could be to know about all of them, and opened up my cart again, and still nothing happened. So I had all these things and nobody was going to look at them. And certainly if there were people going to look at it, they were not purchasing it. So I was like, what the hell's going on here? Why isn't anybody hiring me? I have this product and service that, and it's a service slash product. At the time, I didn't really know what a productized service was, but that's what I was doing. I was creating a productized service in this package, and it was a complete accident. Anyway, that's kind of how that worked out. But I knew that that was better than any of the alternatives. So I was starting to get into a little bit of a hole financially with the business, like pretty quick, because I had all the softwares and there was just like essentially nothing coming in. So the next thing I did is I traded some legal work with somebody. I had gotten an office up at like a what is it called? Co-sharing, not co, whatever it is, where a bunch of people office together. I can't remember what the term for that is. Co-working, a co-working space in Fort Worth, because it's like really cheap to get an office there. So I went to a co-working place, and if you've ever worked in co-working, you know, like there's a lot of bartering going on. Like there's somebody that does SEO, they're trading with the person who does paid ads, and they're like combining their talents to like help each other. And being an attorney, like in that office, like I was able to like trade my legal services, my legal expertise for marketing and stuff like that. So I got a marketing consult with somebody there because I created their LLC and everything like that. And the idea is like you create it, you get a good testimonial, then they'll refer you, and you're doing like face-to-face stuff. But that's not really where I wanted to go. I wanted to do this stuff online. So she essentially was like a content marketer, which I didn't really understand at that time. And she's like, where's your content? And I showed her like the one piece of content that I had. And she was basically just like, you're an idiot. Like, this isn't going to do anything. If you're not willing to like create content, you have to run ads. So since I did not really want to work with this person anymore, because it was kind of such an unpleasant experience working with this person, I decided that I was going to hire someone else that I had seen kind of get famous in the ClickFunnels group. You can take a guess as to who this might have been. So I hired them, and they were going to run my paid ads on Facebook for me. And they asked me to like come up with all the creative, which is another thing I hadn't considered. I was like, oh, if I hired them, they would come up with the creative, but they needed me to do it. So I was like, I don't even know anything about creating content like that. But I was just like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I got to put my face on camera. I was very, very uncomfortable on camera at that time. I don't know what happened. I guess maybe just experience of doing it over and over, or just getting more into a groove of not caring and realizing that I didn't have to be somebody else on camera. I could be myself on camera. It was very, very helpful. So that's a little tip. If you're trying to get on camera, just do something where you're going to have to, where you can be yourself. You don't have to act and pretend to be somebody else. But I had an idea that I thought was going to be funny. The ad was trying to show people's assets that weren't going to be protected in the event of a lawsuit if they were conducting business within an LLC. Not real sexy stuff. So I was trying to like make it funny. So I created these little eggs that I drew like a car on and a house on. And I can't remember what the third thing was. There were 3 or 4 eggs, but it was like the house, the car, the life savings, something. And then there was a couple of other things I can't remember. And it was me on camera just like, get my services because you don't want to lose your car. And then it would cut to me like smashing this egg with a shovel, and like the next one, you're going to lose your house. And I would smash it. I thought it would be really, really funny. It turned out just so amateurish. It was like too amateur. And that was, now that I think about it, one of the reasons they wanted me to do it. They were like, the type of ads that you can just create yourself work better than like professionally created ads. I don't know if they just didn't want to do it or if that was true at the time. I still don't know because I don't run a lot of paid traffic, uh, whether that's good advice or bad advice. So it was like a really kind of pretty humiliating ad, but I gave it to the agency and they were like, this is great. This is like really, really good. We're going to go ahead and run it. They ran it. Clearly it didn't work. It like got literally zero leads. I'd pay them like $5,000. And I say right here, that I'm pretty sure the agency I hired to do the ads went around and showed it to the mastermind and like made fun of it, which is fine. I don't care. But the reason I think that is because I know that she was in a mastermind with these two internet kind of gurus now that are like pretty huge. Like, at least if you listen to them, they have 10, $20 million offers that they've launched during the Facebook ad webinar stuff. So you can kind of take a guess as to who those people are as well. But at that time, they were kind of relatively unknown, and they reached out to me behind her back and it was two people that pretty much said the same thing. They just said, like, you're destined to fail if you don't change direction. Like, we see what you're doing. And the only way that they could see what I was doing, because the ad like reached nobody, we turned it off immediately because it was just sucking up so much money and never material, never providing any sort of lead or anything like that. And I think at that time I was like unwilling to get on the phone. I wanted all the sales to happen. It was just, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And anyway, they reached out to me to try to like poach me behind her back. Long story short, like I was thrown into the position that a lot of people get in when you're starting a business, where it's like, if your full effort is being made towards your online business and you're not getting any traction, like real quick, you're going to have to be thrown into a position to where you're going to have to go get a job if you don't have one, and turn your passion project into like a side hustle. And that's just a situation that a lot of people are in, and there's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people have to start that way. Like, they're working at a job and then they're doing this as a side hustle. I was kind of thrown into the position where it was like, I'm about to have to just like scrap this thing. I'm going to have to go. At the time, I was going to have to go and work for the DA. I thought. I went in and had a whole nother story about the crazy interview I had with the DA at that time, Sharon Wilson, in Fort Worth. I didn't really want to work at the DA, so that kind of got off on the wrong foot. I used to work for the Innocence Project, where we would handle appeals, criminal appeals. Anyway, it's not relevant to this, but I was thrown into a position where I was going to have to go not only work for the government, which I didn't want to do. I'd worked for the health department in Oklahoma City as well, like when I interned as a legal intern. And I did not want to do that again. I didn't want to work for the government for sure. And if I was going to do criminal law, I didn't want to be on the side of the prosecution. I would be more on the side of the defense. They're both necessary. It's just that's where I would prefer to be. And luckily, like, I tanked that interview so bad that it was like I had to like essentially write an apology letter. That's another thing that, like, if that apology letter, I kind of wish I still had that, because it was just like bizarre. The whole thing was just bizarro world. Anyway, it forced me to learn organic marketing. Long story short, I started doing 60-second videos on Instagram at that time, and it may still be that way on Instagram. I'm not an expert on Instagram by any stretch of the imagination. I stick more to Facebook and Google are the two drivers of traffic that I use. And then YouTube, YouTube is Google, same thing. First thing I did were these 60-second ads where I would just take like these copywriting outlines and formulas and then just turn them into like quick 60-second videos. And that actually worked. And I was like, hold on, this is okay. I got my first client at that time, which was somebody I did a lot of business with. I turned out to probably do $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of business with this person over like a 5-year span through those videos. That was like initially how it happened. I was like, oh shit. So I tried to double down on those methods on Facebook, but not really realizing like Facebook group etiquette. And so I was reading up on organic marketing methods, and I went into the Facebook groups and tried to like lead with value, like that whole thing, which is fact that that works. I made it work, but at that time I didn't know how to make it work. So I just was like spamming all these groups and getting banned, and ended up getting banned from the ClickFunnels group because I just went in there and essentially ran an ad straight up in their group. And they kicked me out, and I had to be like, "Oh, I didn't know you couldn't do that." Like beg my way to get back in, which I'm glad I did, because the spamming of all that actually worked. Even the spam works. It just will get you kicked out. But I got a client through the spam that I had done in the ClickFunnels group that also made me like a ton of money over a really long period of time, that relationship. So I was onto organic marketing like pretty quick. It saved me from having to just throw everything away. And so I doubled down on that. I built a huge service-based business off of the organic methods that I learned during that time. And I've evolved them and evolved with the way that Facebook has changed. Like back then, I don't even think there were Facebook stories. If there were, I wasn't really aware of them. I don't think there were. I think that was after they acquired Instagram. And so I started kind of seeing the potential of what like the elite athletes and stuff like that's like who I look to sometimes for what the organic stuff. I know that they're doing that as sponsored stuff, but I look at myself as an unofficial sponsor for stuff that I'm promoting that's like affiliate stuff. So if you're going to promote affiliate products, you have to look at it as if you are an elite athlete that's been paid to do it, because that's going to be the driver of that affiliate income is the advertisements essentially that you're running. So I've done tons of money in services through Facebook organic. The only ad I've ever run for my service-based business, which has been profitable since the first money that came in, I've never lost money since then, was the egg smashing ad. And that obviously did nothing. And then digital courses, I've sold a ton of digital courses, mine and other people. Like I said, I got really good timing on the Google News stuff, and which has allowed me to kind of see the potential of digital courses and getting ahead of trends. And so one of the things I've been doing is trying to test a bunch of stuff to see what's working, where the algorithm's going. And I'm pretty sure I've figured out where it's going. And it ain't to TikTok and all of that. That's like the sexy thing that's out there, that the organic side of it. I'm not saying anything about TikTok ads. I don't know. I haven't run them, and they may be great. And viral organic TikTok content can work, but it's very, very, very hard to make that work. And the people that are making it work, that are selling it as if it does work, are people that already have like large audiences that in other places that are moving them over to TikTok, artificially inflating the TikToks. This is what I see happening. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but then they're pretending as if it's hitting cold traffic when it's not cold traffic. It's already their fans. So unless you have a large group of fans already, it's going to be very, very hard to break into that on a platform like TikTok. Facebook, on the other hand, works a lot different because Facebook already has the type of people that you're looking for grouped together. I can show you how to find all that. And that's never going to change. That's never going to. TikTok is always going to be cold organic stuff, unless you're bringing in a built-in audience already. And Facebook, you can already find the people grouped together, so it's less cold. Like they may be cold to you, but there's a really, really easy way to warm them up on Facebook as opposed to TikTok, where they're just seeing a new thing every time and you have to follow trends and everything there. On Facebook, you can actually treat your Facebook stories and your Facebook profile as if I've compared it to NASCAR. You almost want your Facebook profile and your stories to look like a NASCAR car with or the suit that a NASCAR driver wears. I don't know anything about NASCAR, but just the amount of ads that are on there, the amount of stuff that you can promote, call it the commission buffet, is something that Greg Jeffries taught me. You can do that. You can do that with Facebook. I'm doing it currently. It works. Every time I do it, I make sales, and so can you if you follow my training. So if you're interested in something like that, just let me know. Let's get together. Either I'm not going to drive you to any sort of checkout page or anything like that. Just let me know if it's something that you're interested in. Let's talk about your situation and see if it will work for what you're doing. I can tell you this, if you're in any sort of service-based business or even like an agency or anything like that, definitely 100% will work with stuff like that. There's no question. Digital courses, unless it's something that's going to get you banned on Facebook, like potentially crypto offers or something I don't know anything about, you probably, I don't know, we can still chat about kind of what angle you're taking on it, but a lot of that stuff is just so spammy that it's hard to promote that stuff organically on Facebook or just on Facebook in general. Unless you're doing the cold DMs that you see. I have no clue if that works, probably not. But I don't teach that sort of stuff. No cold DMs involved in what I'm doing. And affiliate offers, it works like a charm. I've sold a lot of affiliate stuff just organically through Facebook stories and on my Facebook profile, and kind of a method of linking those together. And you can pull in the right audience for free very, very easily and have this stuff working really, really quick. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't take a long time. It's not like you have to optimize what you're doing like you would have to do with an ad. You can just keep rolling, keep moving forward, and it will keep driving traffic. And you can hit recurring stuff, and you can hit one-offs. Product launches. I have tons of stuff with product launches. Well, let's just talk about your situation. I'll let you know if it will fit into this. Yeah, shoot me a DM. If you end up in the spam and I don't reply, just like tag me on this post or tag me somewhere on my Facebook page. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope this sheds some light on kind of where I think the organic marketing stuff is moving and what I've seen. And I know that it's validated because I validated it myself. I've seen other people do it. And now I'm having other people that I viewed as influencers to me, or that have helped me and influenced me, asking me about this and potentially wanting me to train their people how to use this to promote their offers. And so I'm like, okay, that's a huge indication that I'm going down the right path here. So if you want to come down this path with me, let's do it. It's not like a crazy investment or anything like that. So yeah, let's chat about it. Have a good one.